afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, September 17th, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. That which is real cannot be threatened, and that which is unreal does not exist. A Course in Miracles. Do we really know the difference between what is real and what's unreal? Now, to some, it may seem like a ridiculous question. Yet most of us rarely take the time to sit down and investigate such an inquiry. If we never question reality, how can we have a clear understanding of how to create it? If we never question reality, how can we have a clear understanding of how to create it? If we don't stop to explore and understand the difference between the unreal and the real, we will never be able to rest, relax, and realize the sacred living purpose of our soul's journey here. Humans have a tendency to fall into habits of complacency, blindly chasing after what is temporary and never venturing out to discover that which truly satisfies our soul. We may spend a majority of our lives frantically running on the wheel of desire, seeking something we believe is real gold, yet later discovering it was only a vein of fool's gold. We are all fools for the divine, constantly seeking to satisfy the ego, which cannot ever be satisfied. The first discovery, that which is real, to that which is real, is learning how to deeply and consciously relax into our bodies. We must choose to use our mind to convince our body that it's completely safe to let go, surrender to life, and trust we are held by a higher power who is caring for our every need. Only through this level of deep vulnerability can we truly relax and find real clarity inside. When the body and mind are at ease, we naturally reach a more sensitive receptivity that is capable of experiencing that which is real. Through deep relaxation, something instantly drops our mind's perpetual addictive search for better, happier, or more. As the gears of our minds tend to slow down and relax, we're able to hold our attention on that which is real. This is where life begins to truly become interesting. So perhaps you're still wondering exactly what is real and what is unreal. Well, that which is real is permanent, eternal, and does not change. That which is unreal will always change, shift, and cannot remain the same. The real is beyond the form and the formless. It cannot be threatened, afraid, or have resistance to this life. That which is real is permanent, eternal, and does not change. That which is unreal will always change, shift, and cannot remain the same. The real is beyond the form and the formless. It cannot be threatened, afraid, or have resistance to this life. It can only welcome life experience that is presented. The unreal is exactly the opposite, of course, of the real. It feels continuously threatened, insecure, and is always trying to defend, fix itself, change others, and circumnavigate its way through life so that you experience more pleasure and less pain. The unreal is the ego trip, which is programmed to avoid pain, seek out pleasure, and constantly try to micromanage your experience of reality. The real is the source of deep eternal love, which allows us to transcend our perpetual desires for pleasure and constant avoidance of pain. The real is the eternal essence of your very being, and the only thing which will truly satisfy your soul. In a more practical context, everything which is born in the mind's imagination is unreal. And that which is felt within the deepest silence of our heart and soul's essence is what's real. When we discover what is real, it is unmistakable and obvious. There is such a profound sensation of gorgeous relaxation that the most tantalizing phenomena of this world cannot compare. All problems instantly melt away in the presence of the real, as you realize you are carried and guided through life by something much bigger than you. If you can always keep your attention on that which is real, you are guaranteed to have an extremely empowered life and become a highly advanced being who can manifest anything at pure will. It's a choice. If and when we can always keep our attention on that which is real, we are guaranteed to have an extremely empowered life and become a highly advanced being who can manifest anything at pure will. Now, to some, this may sound outrageous, yet it is true and shows us how often most of us are spending our lives focusing on what is unreal. Once we can get into the habit of learning how to differentiate the real from the unreal, we stop getting wrapped up in the drama of our minds and the minds of others. We understand that it is all a grandmaster play being performed simultaneously on 8 billion stages. We recognize that the mind is the servant and not your master, and is continuously producing movies only for your mere enjoyment and entertainment in this life. I find the discovery to success with any spiritual practice is an infinite reservoir of curiosity and patience. Once you stop taking your mind so seriously, you have the energy to start taking the source of deep eternal love in your heart more sincerely. Once you realize how liberating and deeply satisfying it is to reveal and melt into that which is real, you naturally stop buying into the mind and are truly free from suffering in this life once and for all. Let go of the idea that you are not aware of yourself as the ever-present, changeless, inexpressible reality. When you want nothing, seek nothing, expect nothing, then the supreme state will come to you uninvited and unexpected. That is all. Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. If there was a practice to practice throughout our lifetime, It would be to continuously reveal that which is real by being vigilantly aware of that which is unreal. By knowing and noticing what is unreal, we will completely stop believing in the greatest lie pulled over mankind's eyes. This great lie that I'm speaking of is the belief that we are not eternal, all-powerful beings. Once we see the truth of who we really are, that we are divine, formless, and beyond time and causality, the veil is pulled back, and we begin stepping into our most enlightened nature. We must choose to be very relaxed and grounded to not let our minds get sucked into the world of the unreal. It helps to feel as if we have an eternity of time to dive into this profound exploration. Having this eternal approach based in a realm of childlike curiosity can make all the difference in the world as how often we are able to realize what is real. Now, my invitation here is a big one for you today. I want you to take this divine moment right now to dive inside yourselves and swim into this exploration of what is real and unreal profusely. Simply know deep down, without a doubt, what is real and what is unreal. Identify the part of you who is eternal, unchanging, and without form. Then notice that part of you which is made of form, subject to life and death, and is not eternal. Okay? Identify that part of you who is eternal, unchanging, and without form. Then notice that part of you which is made of form, subject to life and death, and is not eternal. See if you can become acutely aware of that which does not change and also that which is constantly changing. Give yourself time to swing back and forth between these two worlds. Give yourself an abundance of time for this exploration. This recognition needs to be deeply rooted in your consciousness in order for you to stop falling back asleep and getting caught up in the dream again. If and when you are ready to have a visceral experience of that which is real, sometime this week, take 45 minutes to sit very still and become very silent. Let the body become unmovable, as if it was a large old mountain. Let the mind relax and become receptive and soft, as if it was a new flower blossoming for the first time. Feel the merging and blending of this great mountain and this soft flower inside you. You'll see in this meeting there is an energy pulsing at the center and in your heart, and a subtle silence forming in between your heartbeats. Let yourself fall deeper and deeper into this silence. Become so intimate with your inner silence that you totally relax, surrender, and dissolve, and there is no more you left. This practice of surrendering to silence can only create massive clarity in your mind and free you from a future filled with more suffering. Residing in the mind is hell, prison. Resting in the heart, in love, is heaven, freedom. We are freer than any thought conceived of what defines freedom. Who we are is far more vast than anything the mind thinks we are, Angela Walker. We are all creatures of habit natural. We simply tend to stay on track and repeat the same thoughts and feelings we had the day before. When we get into the habit of exploring, understanding, opening, and resting in that which is real, we will slowly remove the hook that used to pull us back into the unreal. We begin living a life devoted to perpetually revealing that which is real. In this highly conscious state, we actually will stop the cycle of suffering completely. This is the greatest secret of life that we will ever discover. Imagine how liberating it will be to never have to go through another experience of suffering again. Suffering is a habit. It is a choice that each of us makes every day. We can choose to resist life or welcome it. We can chase after our dreams, illusions, goals, desires, and longings in a way where we think achieving them will make us content. Or we can trust the universe in providing our every need and rest, relax, and come home to that which is real inside our hearts and souls. We have an eternity to figure this out. So it doesn't really matter how many days, weeks, or lifetimes we are caught chasing the unreal. There will come a time in this life when we get tired of suffering and we are burning with an intense desire to truly be free. This opportunity I'm presenting to you is to have total freedom in your life now. So it's a choice. Take on this mission and do not procrastinate. The time is ripe for being deeply aware of what is real and unreal. And this awareness will allow us to celebrate and enjoy every aspect of this life today. Do we know why we are here? What is the purpose of our lives? And why are we creating our reality? Whenever we stop to really think about what we are and who we are, do you notice what happens? Just be aware of what happens to you when you sincerely ask this question to yourself. Do you come up with an answer that truly satisfies you? Whenever we start searching for an answer to a problem that cannot be resolved immediately, we might assume that the answer is not inside us and have to go searching out there for the answer. We all have been programmed to believe that the world out there is more likely to have the answers than the world in here. This illusion is what begins the perpetual search out there for that which is already within us. Once we discover what is real, every question we formulate in this life can easily be answered from within. To know yourself, be yourself, to be yourself, stop imagining yourself to be this or that. Just be. Let your true nature emerge. Don't disturb your mind with seeking. This is a mirage. Looking at the nature of the mind, we can see that it's a lot like being inside a movie theater. The projector is constantly playing images onto a blank screen that gives the audience a multidimensional, sensual experience of life. The blank screen, the projector's light bulb, and the purely conscious, observing audience will represent the real. They are that which does not change and remain constantly the same. The mind and ego, who we think we are the dancing shadows of light and dark, which appear to be our real selves, and yet are the temporary movie images which come and go. In this divine theater of your mind, The unreal always seems to be the most captivating, mesmerizing, and hypnotizing play, while the real can at first seem quite bland and boring. Yet once you discover the unending source of peace, stillness, and freedom within that infinite eternal spirit inside, your definition of reality expands. Something awakens inside you that knows without a doubt that you are that which is beyond this world and not subject to the illusions created in the mind. Are you ready to experience unstoppable success in your life? That's a question that you ask. When the violin can stop worrying about the future, it will become such a drunk, laughing nuisance that God will lean down and start combing you into his hair puppets. Every single second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, life is always teaching us what we most need to know. Sometimes it provides us with negative experiences that we learn how to deepen, soften, and let go, while other times we receive positive experiences so we remember how sacred every breath and heartbeat truly are. If and when we look closely at our life, we will notice that there is and has always been a constant swinging from a positive to a negative, back from a negative to a positive life experience, and then back again. You watch a pendulum on a clock, right? Watch the pendulum swing. This is an eternal pendulum. Its swing is there for one very divine reason, so that we learn how to be free from both extremes and are forced to discover the deeply creative, all-powerful, manifesting beings we truly are. As we naturally grow and mature in this life, we realize that our problems cannot be solved by changing the outer world. We see that our real issues shift by diving into our inner world, reaching towards our true center, where we can clearly see how each problem is an opportunity for greater enlightenment and transformation. Now, we've all agreed within the gods that we are, we've all agreed to ascend into higher levels of consciousness, or we wouldn't be here. And when we accept this as truth, we can let go of playing the role of the hero, victim, or perpetrator in our lives. This enables us to truly enjoy the natural swing of life's pendulum, and we can fall deeper into this enjoyment as long as we continue to breathe. The more deeply we breathe, the more we drop our mind chatter, and the easier it is to connect with the divine consciousness at the center of our being. It is here that we find our real power to choose how we wish to relate and respond to each pendulum swing. We can sit back and observe how our mind may try to control the pendulum, avoid it, ignore it, or simply accept it is happening. When we surrender and accept it, we can decide to transcend it completely. Then we are no longer slaves to the good and bad occurrences of this crazy world. Only abiding at the center of our being can we remember that we are the ultimate authority of our reality. This is where our future freedom is, and it becomes obvious that we manifest is purely determined by where and what we are focusing our attention on. To discover everlasting peace with the pendulum, we must choose to learn to trust in it. Life is scheduled in these pivotal extremes so that we stop clinging to it all and learn how to see the grand unfoldment of our soul's journey. Every high and low extreme is designed to crack our hearts and minds wide open so that we surrender to our highest power and know without a doubt that it's possible to manifest anything we want or desire. The great pendulum swing summons our souls to reach all the way inwards until we are living and breathing a spiritual life. We really don't care to have anything less than this. We want it all. It is from rooting ourselves in our spiritual journeys that our consciousness blossoms, making each day more amazing than the last. The real growth of our spiritual path in this life comes from feeling into what's uncomfortable. The real growth of our spiritual path in this life comes from feeling into what's uncomfortable. Our pain pushes us to reach deeper inside to where we are beyond the reach of the pendulum swing and can find the silent stillness that is unmoving at the core of our being. This stillness is our real teacher in this life. It shows us that happiness is not all about getting what we think we want. It's not about controlling the low swing, remaining in the middle, or staying at the high point. Real happiness comes from knowing we are already truly free. We are free from the ever-changing pendulum in whatever painful extreme it may move into. This freedom feeling is like taking a bath in the eternal fountain of youth, where we naturally recognize our true enlightened nature that always was and will always be beyond it all. How can the eternal self have attachments? It is always pure, untainted, unattached. It is always opening, experiencing presence. You are pure reality. You are the imperishable self. You were never born. You never did prevail. You'll never die. You are the one, the all-pervading one. The only work is to just drop into what is. Robert Adams. It's good to know that we were born to experience an initial clinging to life. Yet we were not meant to hold on to this clinging forever. If and when we are getting wrapped up in the drama of our lives, trapped in a negative emotion or heavy thought pattern, we are just overly identified with our mind. We have forgotten we are more than just a body and ego identity. We are an eternal soul that will live forever. This world is made of energy, information, and intelligence that is always changing. What is it that's always changing? That which is unreal. Whenever we get stuck, fixated, or hooked on any one thing, idea, or expectation, we get hooked into the illusion, and this adds extra weight to our pendulum. Our pendulum becomes spring-loaded. And when we hit an extreme, it then catapults back to the opposite direction to reach an even further extreme. The only way to transcend this perpetual intensity and annoying repetition is to return to the stillness at the center. This is at our core beyond the mind. When we drop deep inside and become super vigilant with our thoughts, we'll be able to see and feel the pendulum swing coming before it actually happens. We notice the mind's preference towards having to have only a positive experience and not a negative one. Again, the more attached we become, the more we suffer in the swing. The next time this occurs, just try to become aware of the experience without becoming identified with the experience. For example, the mind might say, because this is manifested now, my life is truly good. Or since this just happened, now my life is horrible. This is how the mind gets hooked by the play of life and the divine pendulum swing. Don't get hooked by the judgmental mind. Instead, just notice what was it that hooked you, and trust the momentum will soon swing in the opposite direction the very moment you relax, breathe, and let go. Stop imagining yourself being or doing this or that, and the realization that you are the source and heart of all will dawn on you. Nisargadatta Mirage. For the next 24 hours, I invite you to partake in a little enlightening experiment. Pay attention to your inner pendulum. Dedicate one full day of your life to watching it move. Start with noticing where you think you are at on the pendulum swing right now. Are you at a high point in your life, down in the dumpsters, or stuck flat in the middle? Take one giant step back from your life and welcome a larger perspective on reality. You'll soon see that it doesn't matter so much where your pendulum is temporarily at. Yet more importantly is how you are relating to it and who you are defining yourself to be from this assessment. The moment-to-moment practice of watching your pendulum will help you discover what it's like to reach your natural enlightened state. Be gentle with yourself on this journey, as it truly requires a completely quiet, open mind to see all of life with clear, non-judgmental eyes. Be aware when you notice yourself judging others or yourself, as this means you're about to get hooked into the thinking that you are this one high or low experience. You are not just any one life experience. You are them all. Remain the detached watcher and calm witnesser as much as you can with your mind, just so that you own this greater truth. Then your entire day becomes a journey into liberation. The pendulum will swing on its own from high to low. And as you watch, you always remain free. You can then be free from all the insecurity and fear, because you know life's pendulum in time will swing back into security and confidence again and again. It's all about learning, choosing to learn, that the only thing that is real is the God that we all are. The only thing that doesn't change is the God that we all are. Everything else that changes, your body out there, is unreal. You see how easy it is for us to get attached to the unreal and forget who and what we really are. And we learn this from the beginning. As soon as we enter these baby bodies, right, we start absorbing. And what do we absorb? The unreal. Everything that changes. See, it's really ironic that we've been taught everything, it's reversed. See, so we've been taught, instead of staying within and being with our real selves, the gods that we are, we have been incessantly, through thousands and thousands of years, instructed to live in an unreal existence. This is why so much of humanity is so confused. And each time one of us on our own decides to go within and stay within, that's a cascading effect on all those around you. They don't even need to know anything about you going within. It's just your viewpoint, your perspective. You begin to learn or rediscover that you are God. That you're not the body, name, character, personality, belonging, status. You're none of that. That's the unreal. You, the God, are real. And I know this, for many, is quite slippery. Because just imagine this. We have been trained for hundreds of thousands and millions and billions of years to believe that everything around us is real. And this pendulum swinging, right? When the pendulum swings, this is what's interesting. It's unreal. But when the pendulum swings to the right, and everything's hunky-dory and wonderful, we indulge ourselves in that, which is unreal. Then it swings to the left, and then we have challenges and disruptions and everything. And we embrace that, which is the unreal. And we do this incessantly, right to left, left to right, right to left, left to right, for eternity. Until we discover, by watching all of this, from the God that you are, that it's all unreal. What do you think will happen when this civilization, majority-wise, discover this? There won't be any suffering. There won't be any pain. There won't be any disappointment. There won't be any frustration. There won't be any hurriedness. There won't be any hatred. There won't be any deceit, manipulation, distraction. It won't exist. Because we'll have discovered that it's all unreal. It's like a holographic theater room, all right? And you create whatever you want in the database in the AI, and you walk in, and it's ocean front, and the sun's shining, and the trees are blowing, and your hair is flowing with this wonderful sea breeze, and you're just totally at ease, right? And no matter how real it seems, because it does seem real, you can touch the sand through your toes and, swim in the ocean. But it's unreal. No different. It is no different than the holographic lives each of us engage with. It is really no difference. And we don't know that we direct it, say. We're the holographic generators. We direct it. We assemble it. We put it together. We construct it. And we participate in it. how difficult is it, see, because for many, it says the universe, which you are, we all are, and vice versa, sends us what we want and what we don't want, and everything in between. And it can come in opportunities, thoughts, right? It can come in many different ways. And if we don't, if we just let it pass, right, and we don't embrace it, the universe is sending me this opportunity and giving me guidance and direction. So it's giving me this through this conduit. Could be money, could be better health, could be a lot of things. But if we just, see, here's the thin line. We just sit and wait, then nothing takes place. And we've all experienced that. And see, there's an element of risk, too, for all of us. And then, of course, what happens is that the ego mind starts tripping in, right? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with doing that. You know why? Because it's the unknown. And the ego mind are very insecure, so they will convince you, no, don't do that. So we wait. And all these things are coming to us every split second. It is ironic that we ask for things, right? And they come to us in different ways and methods, but we don't recognize them. And most of the time, they're the unknown. And just by stepping out of the comfort zone, embracing one of those that the universe is sending you in full abundance, it tells the universe, you want more of that. I want more of that to come in. Because you get enthusiastic, you get excited. And so it sends more. And then everything just begins to fall into place, and it can stay that way. There's a misconception. Oh, no, that's going to last forever. Better enjoy it while you can. And then what happens, see, because then we start the ego mind, starts going, well, it's not going to last forever. Boy, I wish it could last forever. This is phenomenal. It's wonderful. This is where I want to be in this life. Well, no, it's not going to last forever. Eventually it's going to end. See, this is the tug of war between real and unreal. And the funny thing is that it can last forever because it's our natural state of being. We've been taught that if you really want to get somewhere, right, you have got to bang, 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 bang your whole life. Can't stop. Can't take a breath. Moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. I have a friend that I met out here in the mountains. He's kind of like a do-everything guy. Real tiny, thin. It's like 60, 62. And he's one of those people that can go everywhere. He can find things. He's just easy to talk with. And he's really genuine, and he really tries to help people. He doesn't do it for favors. He doesn't do it for, I'm going to do this and you're going to get this for me. He just does it. So the other day I was talking with him, and he was, and I sense energies, frequencies from people. I don't say, hey, I'm sensing your energy and da-da-da-da-da. But I was sensing the inconsistency of energy flow with his body. And I was feeling it. through the heart mind. And I said, how are you feeling? He says, I'm 62, but I feel like I'm 80. And I said, why is that? He says, because I'm always working. I work 7 days a week. He doesn't have to. Let's put it this way. Okay? Doesn't have to work. But I work 7 hours, 7 days a week. And, it's basically the old saying, burning the wick at both ends, burning the candle at both ends. He says, sometimes I wonder, I wish I could just check out, chill out for some days, and then ease back in. He's got cattle that he deals with, and he's got this family, and he basically is redoing this old shack house into a brand new house. And he's got kids that are grown, and so it's he's coming here, going there, doing this, doing that. And I said, why don't you? You don't have to work hard like this. Why don't you start going within and understanding that everything out there is what is unreal, and everything inside of you, everything that you are in that body, because you're not that body, is real. He said, I'm starting to realize that, which was good to hear. He said, I'm listening to you, and everything you're saying is ringing true with me. But see, it's a choice. And I think we all come into that at times where, we meet someone, we interact with them, and we know that the God within that body is part of the God within our body, so we're not separate. It's a piece of us, right? So obviously, wouldn't we want every piece of us, the gods that we are on this planet, to be happy, to discover the happiness within, right? To know that we are immortal supreme beings and that we can manifest anything we want whenever we want it. To literally know this without the ego mind, but through the heart mind. So this is the shift and the change of humanity, of realizing that the existence of this civilization is for it to once again discover that it isn't the body. That all this out here, it isn't about that. It's about within. We could create a new movie, which would be our lives, right? With this knowledge. We could literally cancel the movie that's playing now without ramifications and present a new movie from what we have discovered about who and what we are. See, instead of struggle, we're at ease, right? Instead of depression, we are happy. And instead of anger, we're in joy. This is the shift. It's realizing the difference, the veil between the unreal and the real, the God that you are in that body. So we know as absolutely, without a question, without a doubt, true full faith, the only thing that is real is the God that you are in that body. It is the only thing that doesn't change, ever. And everything that changes is unreal. Okay? So the body is unreal. And everything outside of us is unreal. And where did it come from? We created it. That it doesn't mean that we, specifically are clear that we're creating it. The majority of the people on this planet don't know that. Far from it. They're immersed in the unreal. And it isn't ironic, right? You have some people that hoard and collect massive fortunes and continue to stress and worry their whole lives, and they really don't enjoy themselves. They really don't. They're fearful of people finding out. They're fearful of this and that. And so, for the most part, there's a few that do. But for the most part, they're constantly worrying of not having. And then, one day comes along and they've left the body. And all of that is gone. You see how that works? Now, from the perspective of being real, we look at everything, and every single breath we take, every smile that we generate is priceless. Every step we take is priceless. Because we have the opportunity to discover that the only thing that is real, which we are, the gods that we are, nothing else is. This universe, this galaxy, all the gods within all the planets, all the stars, the only thing that's real are the gods within those physical forms. And see, that is way beyond the mind's comprehension. And that is why we are here to go beyond the mind, beyond consciousness, and become the watchers of everything that's happening. And yeah, we experience and we interact. And it's through our choosing, and a lot of the time unconsciously, that we choose to do things, right? But we don't have all the knowledge that we need. And so we suffer and struggle. And all of us suffer and struggle. None of us are exempt from it. And have you ever caught yourself saying, why is this happening to you? Why is this happening to you? What did I do in this life to deserve this? You ever heard that one? This is ridiculous. Seems like every day there's a new hit or challenge. Because we create it. And it's not a blame. It's not a negative. It's saying, why did I create this? And when you start looking at things, you start realizing, son of a gun, I did create this. Which we learn how not to create these things. And the longer and the more we put time within ourselves, within our souls and the gods that we are, the struggling, the pain, the disappointment, the anger, the frustration, the confusion will be gone. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out of the mouth. Remain still. The message to ourselves is stop trying so hard to be successful. You are already amazing just the way you are, even though you may not know it. You are experiencing exactly what you are meant to experience in this lifetime. Simply be here now. There's nothing more for you to do. This is the greatest success there is. To simply exist as a multidimensional being in this universe. Letting go of your struggle to become better and just be whatever you are. You are more than enough. You are perfect exactly as you are. Every single moment that you show up for your life is the most amazing victory. And when I look at you, I just say, wow. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We'll return here Sunday, September 18th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation calls.